Hello and welcome back to the Embrace the Mud podcast. On yesterday's episode, we talked about what to do when you're not feeling like a priority to your partner. Today, we're continuing that crucial conversation and we're focusing on what to do when you've communicated your needs, but still don't feel like a priority. We're going to navigate through the next steps in this challenging journey. So let's dive in. You are listening to the Embrace the Mud podcast, where we discuss all things related to healthy, joyful, and life-giving relationships. Why focus on relationships? Because the quality of our intimate partnerships and close connections influences our health, happiness, and longevity more than anything else in our lives. Relationships matter a lot. So together, let's jump into the mud, aka our messy relationships, pull some weeds, plant some seeds, and create an enriching environment where strong relationships can take root. I am your grateful host, Dara Posner. I am a relational disaster working toward relational mastery. I am also a positive psychology coach, a relational mindset coach, a blogger, and now a podcaster. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Embrace the Mud podcast, where we discuss all things related to healthy, joyful, life-giving relationships. If you are a fan of this podcast, please subscribe, follow, like, review, and share. Your engagement in this way is crucial to the success of the podcast, and I appreciate you taking just a few seconds to support my mission, which is to help people like you flourish in life and love. So to start off our conversation today, I just want to do a quick review on what we talked about yesterday so we could pick up where we left off. Yesterday, we talked about, when you're in a situation where you feel like you're just not a priority to your partner, you want to, first of all, express that to the person that you're with and let them know how you're feeling. And the best thing to do is to take a relational frame when you address the issue, right? To come at it from the perspective of, look, we both deserve to feel valued and loved in our relationship. What can we do to make that happen? What do you need to feel like a priority to me? Here's what I need to feel like a priority to you. And you want to refrain from communicating in a way that actually pushes your partner away and discourages them from meeting your needs. And that would look like criticizing them or blaming them, which really isn't going to get you what you want in the end at all. In fact, it's going to take you further away from that outcome of feeling connected, close, and like you're really a priority to each other. We sort of summarized our episode by pointing out how open, honest communication that's vulnerable is really what you want to strive for. Today, we're going to talk about what to do when you've done that. And maybe you've done that lots of times. Maybe you've approached this conversation with your partner in every way you know how. Maybe you started out really loving and kind and generous in your assumptions about why you weren't feeling like a priority. And maybe you had agreements that you made by the end of those conversations, that things would change, and then they didn't. Or maybe there was resistance on your partner's end from the very beginning. What do you do now? If you've been open, honest, and vulnerable about your needs with your partner, yet nothing has changed, it's really time to revisit the situation. Multiple conversations have now taken place, but the landscape remains the same. In this juncture, you really have two choices. First, you can choose to accept the love you're given as it is and assess whether what you do receive from your partner and the ways in which they do show their love to you, assess whether that's enough for you, and decide whether you can truly let go of what's missing. This would look like, really grieving the things that up until this point you've wanted and you've asked for and you've hoped to experience, but that you now realize you're not going to get. And to look at your relationship and say, okay, what do I have? Is this enough? So that I can just truly grieve the things that I'm not going to have and let them go. Alternatively, you can consider the possibility of leaving the relationship. Maybe you do that assessment and you realize, no, there's just not enough here for me. as it stands currently. And that's a really tough place to be in. But the fact is, our needs are ultimately our own responsibility. It's a journey of discernment and deciding what's truly important and understanding when it's not possible for what we'd like to have happen to happen. And we can't force it, right? So we have to recognize the power of choice that is in our hands, even though those choices are not ones, that we're particularly happy about or comfortable with. If you choose to stay, allow yourself to grieve what you're not getting. That's a huge and important part of the process. And that's why I'm emphasizing that here today, because I think that in order to truly let go, we have to really, really grieve it and allow ourselves to engage in that process. Letting go of unmet expectations can free you to appreciate the beauty of what is present in the relationship and to shift your focus from what I wanted and what I wasn't getting to what I do receive and how I can lift that up and choose to make that enough for myself. Moving forward doesn't always mean leaving. It can also mean a shift in your own perspective, a deepened appreciation for what's there, and a commitment to your own growth and fulfillment and your own ability to expand in love and appreciation for your partner as they are and the way in which they love you. As we conclude today's episode, remember that your choices are powerful, whether it's finding appreciation in what you have or bravely stepping into a new chapter. Your journey is uniquely yours. If you're navigating unfulfillment in your relationship and you're having a hard time making these decisions, consider reaching out to me. This is what I do. I work with people to help them make these crucial, life-altering decisions. I'd also love to connect with you in other spaces, so follow me on Instagram. My handle there is @embracethemud. And also, please make sure to sign up for my newsletter at mudcoaching.com. It's called Questions for the Soul, and I'll send you a weekly journal prompt to guide you inwardly and help you get clear on the things that are truly important to you, the things that you really need and desire. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Embrace the Mud podcast today. Remember that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and it's really important to discern what growth is being called forth from you through this challenging time. I'll be back very soon with another episode here for you. In the meantime, please remember, you are wired for love and connection. You are capable of love and connection. You are worthy of love and connection. I'll see you soon.